Hello friends, in this video we will learn about estimation, that is rounding of numbers. If I ask you to count the number of candies in the jar, oops, that's a difficult task to count so many candies. Suppose we count them. So we may say I have 25,000 candies exactly, only if I count them. If I don't count, then I may say it is about 25,000 candies. That means I'm just guessing the answer. It may be or it may not be. So that means we are estimating the value. Now, what is estimating? It is making a thoughtful guess. As we know, guessing means your answer is not exact but nearby. So, a thoughtful guess means whatever you are thinking of a number, it should be nearby the exact number. So, in mathematics, we use about, almost, or close to as the words representing the estimated values or even approximate values. Now, where we use it: shopping, cooking, travel, and population, and many more. Now, while shopping, suppose we are in a supermarket and we are just picking up some things. So, we do a mind calculation and estimate one value, that what will be the total amount of the things that we pick up, so that we can estimate the total budget of our purchase. In cooking, while preparing a dish, suppose it is written it takes 15 to 20 minutes, so it may be anywhere nearby 15 and 20. So we are just guessing it. It may be nearby. Now, traveling. Suppose we are planning for a trip, so we have to estimate how much time it takes. We are just guessing it. So according to that, we are calculating the distances. For this much distance, it will take some time, and according to that, we are planning our expenses, where to stay, what to eat, and all that. We make a rough budget about that. Just we are guessing the value. We are just estimating it. In population, it may be the population of a state or a country. The exact population we cannot say, because we don't know the exact. We don't count them. Like the strength of a, suppose we'll ask a child what is the strength of our school. Uh, he will say about 1200. That may not be the exact value. It may be nearby 1200. That means it can be 1195 or even 1205. But he has not counted, so he will say it is about 1200. Now, the basics of rounding off. The basic says that 5 or more, let it soar, 4 or less, let it rest. If you have 5 or more, we'll go to the higher value. If you are having 4 or less, we'll go with the lesser value. We'll come down. Now, let's understand the basics here. Again, I repeat: 5 or more, let it soar, 4 or less, let it rest. Uh, let's take an inclined plane. A car is there. Either it can come down to 0 or it can go up to 10. Now, if you use the basics says that if you are having 4 or less, will come down, that is to 0 or to the next down value. If you are having 5 or more, we'll go to the higher value. Now, we are having 3. So, here we are taking a rest. So, we are not changing anything. We are there still at the bottom. But if we get 7, that means it's 5 or more. So 5 or more, let it soar. So it goes higher. Again, suppose we have 5 also. If 5 also is there, it goes to 10. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are nearer to 10. That's why they tend to move towards 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. These are all nearby to 0. That's why they come to 0. 5 by default it goes to 10. That's the rule. Now, rounding up to the nearest tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. we round off numbers according to these places. So what are the nearest tens? The tens are 10, 20, 30 up to 90. These are the rounded tens values. Similarly, rounded hundreds are 100, 200, 300 up to 900. Similarly, 1000 to 9000. These are the rounded thousands. So we'll get the answers like this. Rounded numbers. Now, the rule says find your number, look right next door, 4 or less, just ignore, 5 or more, add 1 more. Find your number means which number you want to round up. That means the number is in which place, like tens, hundreds, or thousands. Next, look right next door means right side of the rounded number what we have. Then, are we having 4 or less or 5 or more? If you are having 4 or less, we'll just ignore. We'll not change anything. But if you are having 5 or more, we will add 1 more. Let's see the rule with an example. If we take 47 and I want to round up to the nearest tens. So, now we can see as we are rounding to the nearest tens, the tens place we have 4. So, we have rounded that. So, next we have to see what is on its right. So, on its right we have 7. The third step, is it 4 or less or 5 or more? As it is 5 or more, we have to add 1. So, here 7 we have. So, it is more than 5. So, we'll just add 1. So, 4 becomes 5 and the rest all becomes 0. As we are getting rounded numbers, so the rounded tens you have to take. So, the nearest tens is 50. So, 47 is nearer to 50. Let's take the number 273. Tens place 7. Right side digit is 3. As it is less than 4, we will not change anything. So 7 remains 7 and 3 becomes 0 as we need rounded numbers. So 273 is nearer to 270. So here you have to say that when we are rounding up to 47 to the nearest tens, 47 will be either going to 40 or to 50. So which is nearer, it will go to the nearest tens. So the nearest tens is 50. That's why 47 becomes 50. Now, let's remember one thing. In this one, we see in tens place we have 9. On its right, we have 7. That means we have to add 1. Now, when we add 1 to 9, it becomes 10. But as per the place value rules, we cannot keep 2 digits in one place. So here what we do, we add 1 to the total 49. So 49 plus 1 becomes 50. 50 and the other number becomes 0. So the 497, the nearest tens is 500. Now you may say it is 500s. How it is tens? So 500 is nothing but 50 tens. So now round off to the nearest hundreds. Now we have 875. In hundreds place we have 8. In the right side we have 7. So we will add 1. It becomes 900. 2638. We have 6. 3 is there, so no need to change. So 6 remains 6. So that becomes 2600. Now to the nearest thousands. Suppose we have 7446. The thousands place is 7. Right side 4. So as we say 4 or less, let it rest. So no changes, it will be same. So 7 remains 7. Rest all becomes 0. Taking this example, the thousands place is 9 here. So you have to remember. Now on its right we have 5. So you have to add 1. Now if I add 9 and 1 we get 10. So instead of doing that, what we'll do, we'll add 1 to total 29. So that becomes 30 thousands. So 29,584, the nearest one is 30 thousands. Now round up to the nearest 10 thousands. So we'll see what is in the 10 thousands place. We have 4. On its right we have 7. So we have to add 1. So 94 becomes 95. So it becomes 9,50,000. So Remember always, while rounding up, circle the place you're rounding according to the place we want. Next, look to the next door, means on its right, whatever the digit is there. If the digit is 4 or less, just ignore, means keep it same. If it is 5 or more, means add 1. Thank you and keep exploring.